It's not subtle colors.
I'll take subtle.
Good.
Although I'm not that subtle sometimes.
Well, sometimes we have to be subtle about some things.
Indeed.
Hi, this is WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, radio, TV, and podcast #1 internet singles talk network. And this is Let's Talk About Dating with Christine and Barry. Hi, Barry.
Hi, Christine.
And here we are at the, pardon me?
But here we go again.
There we go. And I think this will be a fun start. Sometimes we do kind of heavy. Last week was a little heavier. This week, I think it's going to be fun. Because here we are at the beginning of December, and it's a really good time to think about the holidays coming up, and are you going to have friends or family to do things with? And what, instead of, if you don't have friends and family, or in addition to, what kind of activities would be kind of centered around meeting people, meeting new friends, meeting potential somebody to date. And there's just so many. I thought this is really a fun subject because you're going to go do fun things, right, Barry?
That's the idea, yeah. And also I want to make the point that this can also be people who are actually in a relationship, but just feeling like they want to get to meet other people too, because they may be feeling like they're, there's no place to go see anywhere else. So it's not just for singles in this conversation. We'll probably include or just simply make things available to both singles and couples, because there's things you can do over the holidays where you don't get stuck at home the whole time, whether you're on with your lover or if you're on your own. So we'll make sure this way we're making it for everybody.
This just will cover everybody. In and out of relationships, male or female, old or young, we'll have things for everybody, right?
Yes, indeed.
So something I've done a lot, which is super fun. I've never hosted it, but I get hosted. It's called a cookie baking exchange. So depending on, let's say 10 people are coming. So you bring your favorite cookie recipe and all the ingredients that you need to make like 3 dozen of the cookies. And then you need somebody with a pretty big kitchen, which is why I can't host it.
I was trying to see the picture, yeah.
I can only fit just so there's a lot of bump and buns going on in my kitchen if we get more than a couple people. Which could work. Could be fun.
Yeah.
If you have like a big island, that's what really has worked out well when I've done it. And so you all get together, and it's really helpful if they have more than one oven. And sometimes we've used the neighbors' ovens because the neighbors come over too.
That's good. So
and there's often a little wine involved, or spiked eggnog, or mulled wine.
Not all the time.
Doesn't this sound like fun? So then you make your cookies, and you bring a copy of the recipe for everybody. And then everybody gets to pick and choose and take home some of all the cookies. But it can go on for a whole afternoon. You bring people that you know. The other one year we bring somebody that you went out with or think somebody else would want to go out with that wasn't your person, but they might be somebody else's person. Usually it's generally ladies that have come, but that one year was very kind of extra spicy because just because they're not for you you would never bring somebody that was a bad person, but they just weren't your person. Or they're a friend of, your boyfriend, if you're in a relationship with somebody, or their brother of a boyfriend. I mean, we laughed so much. It was really fun. That extra little spice of having significant other people that could be potential, right?
Well, and the thing I like about that, besides all the fun and the frivolity and the boozing and all the other stuff too, is that, I'm just thinking visually how it feels. First of all, the fact that it's going to be very messy. So there's going to be flag on everywhere. So basically, there's no pretentiousness going on there. It's going to be really down home and fun, which I think is one of the best things about having holiday gatherings. You don't get too pretentious about it. The other part, though, is that even if you're not confident in making stuff, you can lean into each other's help. Because some people that group gathering end up being master cooks, they can do everything, no problem, and bakers. And some people may be a bit of a novice, where they've only done the recipe once and they didn't do it very well, but they like what they saw online and they wanted to do it for the first time. Yeah. So all of these aspects make this whole event a transformational experience for everybody who's there. And I love the idea. I'm just visualizing like this big kitchen with a big island, lots of space and everything. Everyone's got their own like cookie sheets and everything. It's going to be almost like a commercial kitchen working in a sense, but not feeling like that. It's been a lot of fun and playfulness and lightheartedness. I mean, I'm just imagining how crazy it would get, but I think it's a genius idea, because the other thing about it is it's not a big investment for each person, except for showing up and bring some ingredients. It doesn't require you getting dressed up fancy. I mean, basically, if you're not wearing grubby clothes, you can end up with grubby clothes at the end of it because of all the ingredients. And it also doesn't require any outside influence. It's all just in somebody's house, which I think is one of the things about gatherings, and just as an overarching theme for holidays is, well, let's say it this way. I know that around Christmas Day and other certain highlight times, and New Year's Eve especially, restaurants charge exorbitant prices for dining and for seating. So if you're looking to go and have something fun, it doesn't have to be paying an arm and a leg to go do it. And so something like this, which is very informal, but also very social, because it makes it so much more fun, because you're not thinking, well, I got to save so much money to do this, because you're not trying to impress anybody, except you want to make sure they like what you made. So this is this idea personally. So I like the idea a lot.
It was fun, and it was interesting because baking is not my strong suit. I like to cook, but my brother's a wonderful baker, but he lives away. Right. So what I found was I learned about the feeling of dough, because when you're a baker, because you do bread, there's a feeling, or there's a smell, or gosh, it might be good if you added this to it.
Right. Yeah.
And that was fun, because I was like, because I am a recipe follower. I'll get a little creative if I've made it a few times, but I really have to follow. And my brother's like, oh, a little of this and a little of that, and it's supposed to feel like this. So I like cooking with people like that, because they'll take me a little outside of my comfort zone. And it was so fun because everybody brought interesting aprons and fun stories about where did they get the recipe from. I mean, the conversations were not something you have normally with groups of people. Yeah.
Yeah. But also the fact is that, as you say, because you're not a master baker yourself, but you get to come to a gathering where out of the 10, 15, 20 people that are there, there's going to be some experts among them. You can basically lean into their knowledge, which is even more fun.
Yeah.
So that way it makes it so much. So I love the idea about it makes the place, it makes it, again, a transformational experience, because people will learn things there. People will give things there. People have a lot of fun, social connections, possible romantic connections if it's a mixed crowd. All of these possibilities are in something as simple as this. So I'm thinking, what else can I talk about besides this that isn't as much fun as this? Because yes, there are many things to talk about. I mean, the show title page has ice skating as an image, which is another great thing to do too. The idea of having something social, and there are many different things you can play with. I mean, you can, whether it's cookies, or it might be, I mean, I'm going to, I'm probably going to a party in a couple of days, which is, it's going to be a charcuterie gathering.
Ooh, fun.
So it's going to be like, people can bring cheeses and bring little meats and fruits and other things, and there's going to be wine. It's not going to be a big dinner. It's going to be very casual, but it's going to be fun because it's something light and easy. So to organize or find people who are hosting social gatherings that are, again, that are not pretentious, thank God, that are also a lot of fun, but also can be something where there's time just to mingle and schmooze and have fun, where the focus is something light, like, appetizers or cookies, and then everything else is just a chance to mingle. So that theme as an idea for social gatherings over the holidays is so simple, but frankly, you could do half a dozen of those things.
So I also have another friend who, she's a conductor, and she has a children's orchestra, and they create Christmas cards every year for retirement homes, veterans organizations. And so I've done that with her group a couple of times. And I thought, wasn't that just help your heart? So you could get your church group together, or your neighbors together, or a group of friends, or, get 3 or 4 family groupings and make cards, handmade cards. How beautiful is that, with some lovely messages? And because I was amazed when I went around to some of the retirement homes and I said, what's the percentage of people that have no family and no visitors over the holiday? And it was a lot. It was like 30, 40%. So that someone would come in a group, and at that group, they sing, so they could sing carols to them, but just to bring, cards. And so you get together as a group, and you can bring some people that everybody doesn't know. So there's another way to meet people. And you can make these cards, and then you pick a few places and get their permission to come bring these cards to the people so that they feel like somebody's at least thinking about them and caring about them to help your heart and theirs.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's such a long list of service opportunities over the holidays as well, whether it's going to feed the homeless or going to an animal shelter or something that doesn't necessarily have to be festive based, but doing it this time of year has added meaning and more impact. And again, like you were saying, like chance to meet people you don't know yet, whether it's social connections or romantic connections or any of those things. Again, because for singles or couples, the opportunity to give and serve is one of the greatest, I think, feelings we get to have over the holidays. It's not, I mean, receiving is nice. No argument about that. But being able to give and have what you give be valued is almost as much fun and maybe even more fulfilling than just receiving something. So the opportunity to do that, whether it's like, again, back to the original with the cookies, where other people will try your cookies out and actually be very happy when they tasted them. It's like, I did good. That's kind of fun to do, you know. But I'm going to feed the homeless or singing, or going to sing carol sings around convalescent homes or, you know, those sort of facilities where those people have been basically, they may not have any family around or don't get to visit them. They're just sitting around at the holidays just to bring some joy and light, you know, or children's hospital even. So different places you can go where your own presence can be a gift as a present, so to speak. I know playing puns there, but doing something that makes a difference. So it's something that's worth doing. And again, these things aren't going to be major investments necessarily. They're not major draws of your time. You go for a few hours and it can add to your social and holiday experience through the whole month of December. I mean, frankly, some of these people talk about it can be year round, but definitely this time of year it's good to do things that are taking you outside your own self. Especially, I can say this slight sidebar for a second. The theme we're talking about is activities to do over the holidays to meet people. Some people during this month of the year, if they're single, especially if they had a recent breakup, maybe feeling a little bit less social than they would otherwise be. In fact, they want to sit at home and mope around. So if you're one of those people watching this show, please take note of what we're talking about here, because things we want to talk about and what we are going to talk about will be ways to get yourself out of yourself, which may actually help you heal. So there's no excuse to really sit at home and mope when you can go out and do something fun. And again, low bar of entry to get involved with. And who knows, you actually find yourself enjoying yourself. What a possibility.
What a shock.
What a shock.
So another thing that happens near where I live is there are lots of streets that they go all out in decorating. There's a house, and I still don't understand how he does this, but it's very clever. He has a radio station that you go, and there's a big sign in front of his house. You turn in the radio station, and his house lights are set. You stay in your car 20 minutes. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And this house just goes all crazy with every song. It changes. And everybody's in the cars going, isn't this amazing? Oh my gosh. You know, you're talking to people you will never see again. Yeah. Then there's another neighborhood. It's huge. I mean, really, if you drive it, which is typically what I did with my mom a lot, I crank up the heater on my side because I was always cold, and we roll down the windows and play Christmas carols. And it truly can take 45 minutes to drive through all the cul-de-sacs. And it's gotten so popular and sophisticated. They now have a school, because it's dark, so there's nobody at the school, where they're now busing people in.
Wow.
And there's signs that say Santa's route, so you can either walk the route or drive the route. And they sometimes, not since COVID, but before COVID, they would hand out, you know, hot chocolate, and they had carolers in their yards. But it is fabulous and pretty. Wow. And if you do the walking part, you're surrounded by all these people. They're probably in a festive mood. And you get to talk about, wow, look what they did at that house, and look at that house. And I mean, they really do. I think they must decorate for months, and I don't want to pay their electric bill, but it is such a, I mean, you just drive in the neighborhood and you start feeling festive. So I've walked it a couple times now that my mom's not here anymore, because it was too much for her to walk.
Right.
And there's just no way you can't get caught up with talking to strangers. You know, the little kids are in their wagons or on their tricycles. And it's just so fun, Barry. It's just, we all look forward to it every year. And they start it right after Thanksgiving, and it's every night. And you're not allowed to not turn on your lights. They all have to have Because I said, what do you guys do? And they go, oh, we have automatic timers, because they do other stuff like go to parties and stuff, but they don't want their house to be stuck out in the middle, be dark.
I understand. Yeah. No, that's the thing. I mean, every neighborhood, I mean, I know around here, there's a couple of small places, not as big as the ones you were talking about, but I remember when I was in Santa Monica, there was one street up in Santa Monica, I remember vividly, the whole street was like, somehow they made an agreement with each other, and they would basically decorate massive decorations. They did it at Halloween as well, but at Christmas time, the houses were just it's almost competitive in a way, which is kind of fun to watch. He was got better one, this one, you know, but the decorations and the lights and just the merriment that was going on was just so amazing. But I love what you're talking about. I'm almost jealous. I want to go visit what you were talking about. But the thing is, to say that point again, is that where the people where you are, whoever you're watching the show from, there are probably places in your town, or not too far away from where you live, that do the same thing. You know, it's not just in where we live, where the things are, but definitely where you are, there's opportunities to go out. And I know that some retail stores and restaurants, especially the smaller mom and pop shop type things, have more social gatherings, and oftentimes do evening gatherings where they may have carol singers or have hot chocolate or both, or all those combination of things where people will, yes, market themselves to the public by saying, come visit our store. We're having a social gathering this night. You know, we had last week was the tree lighting in Culver City where I live. And there was a massive crowd there. There were like, got to be at least half a dozen different school choirs singing, from little kids up to big kids. And there was dance movement. And it was all done just because they're doing tree lighting, you know, not like New York, I know, which is a big one. But when there's a bit pretty, you know, there's a good like 25 to 30 foot tall tree outside in Culver City downtown that had, you know, a big festive gathering before it happened. So every town has its own merriment creation for the holidays.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and so
you're a good ambassador.
What's the thing? It's tempting sometimes to just shut the doors and turn off the lights and just be sitting in the dark and not feeling like going out anywhere. And I mean, if you want to do that, no problem. However, the opportunities to get out and play. Oh, there she is. I wonder when she's going to show up.
She's been on the floor all this time. Hello, Miss Gigi. Yes.
She's
she
back.
Says, oh, Gary's on. I have to come. I have to come by.
I love it. But the thing is that the things that we're talking about, and I guess that we'd almost categorize in different areas. There's a social gathering in people's homes. There's the organized city, corporate, civic type things. There's also just things you can do yourself where you go out and actually create your own adventures. So going out and do things like ice skating, which again was something that's on the show card, or doing things that are maybe, if you live in a colder climate, maybe there's toboggan runs or snowball fights or building snowboards. Or hay rides, yeah, if it's not snowing. So depending where you live, there's natural things you can go play and have fun with as well. I've got another party coming up right before Christmas that friends of mine are hosting. This one's going to be a very boozy one because they like having special. They let's just say they're aficionados in certain alcohols, and so it's going to be a lot of eggnog, hot toddies, and other alcohol testing. I'm definitely going to Uber. I'm not driving because I know what it's going to be like. But it's like I don't know the host. I don't know anybody else who's going to be going. I mean, I might see friends that I've seen before, but I got a feeling a lot of people are going to meet there. I've never known. So I just said yes, because I know the people who are hosting it and they're good friends. So part of it's also being open to be connected to social environments, social circles. And frankly, if somebody invites you to go to their party, even more fun because there'll be less people you know. That can be fun.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah.
So I wanted to circle back in that I found all these different activities often through the chamber. That's go to their website of the Chamber of Commerce in your neighborhood. They list all the streets that you could drive down and the route. And if there's something happening like at a local shopping center or a mall, because they want to publicize it. That's their job as the Chamber of Commerce. So that's one of the places to look. And also Facebook, look at Facebook or Meetup in your geographical area. There's often lots of activities that people will post, especially around this time of year, that they're doing a toy drive. That's the other thing that I had thought about too, was there's fire stations that do toy drives. You could gather together with your neighbors or your business associates and, an unwrapped toy for kids or gift cards. And then you have a gathering and a big, like a car rally, and you go to the fire station and you drop them all off. And, or you can offer to go and wrap. Because I asked them one time when I did that, I said, who wraps all these presents? I go, volunteers. I go, I like wrapping presents and I'm really good at it. So I did. I went back one year and I helped them wrap. Because you bring unwrapped so they know the age and, generally the gender, even though that's so politically incorrect right now. I still stick with it. But to go help wrap, especially, let's say you can't afford to buy gifts this year for somebody else other than go help them wrap. They supply the paper and they have sodas and coffee, and you're going to meet new people who have a giving heart too. So there you go.
Speaking of fire, I was thinking about when you said fire station in Venice. When I used to live in Venice, the fire station there would have it was a toy drive and breakfast, pancake breakfast. So they do is it was Saturday morning for Christmas, and you go take your toys in again unwrapped, and they have the barrels full of toys, and they serve you breakfast. And they also had the fire trucks and the fire poles for the kids to play on and play around. So it was a very social gathering. Lots of people in the neighbors. I met neighbors there, people we hadn't met before. It was really fun. And you got, it's like pancakes are being cooked up like rotation, the fire crew, because that's, they cook for themselves. So it was a big feast going on. It was a lot of fun. And then somebody brought some musical instruments and they played as well. So these sort of gatherings that are generally about one focus point tend to have lots of offshoots around them. So maybe about a toy drive. But if it's something, well, come to a toy drive and also then bring some musical instruments and have some fun, or bring some hot chocolate, or share some things. Again, meeting people, socializing, and basically having uplifted spirits. Because the thing about this time of year is it's tempting sometimes to shut down and not want to play, but also very tempting to go have some fun and meet new people. And it's not about you're going to meet your true love at these events. You might, but no promises. But at least you'll have some social engagement with other people, which would be good to have the chance to meet people and hang out. You may meet new friends. And again, like you're saying about bring somebody, bring your boyfriend's brother sort of thing. Well, what if you go there and you meet their boyfriend's brother or their girlfriend's sister, whatever it is, that sort of combination. So you never know who you're going to meet. So definitely get out. I guess the thing I'm going to keep saying is get out and socialize and check out what's out there, because there are many opportunities to play. And the good thing is that anytime you go to one and it doesn't fit, you can always leave.
Yes. Especially if you stay in your general neighborhood. It's not as if you're 4 hours away from home.
Right.
And the thing too is, I want to point out, if people aren't putting the pieces together, we're talking about nighttime things and daytime things.
Yes.
If you're not comfortable being out at night looking at lights, the toy drive is totally daytime. It's often in the morning. And I got to tell you, there is nothing bad about going to a fire station with having cute firemen cook you breakfast. Really, Barry. I'm signing up for that one. Oh my goodness.
Let me get your interest.
They're always cute. I think it's a law. They have to be cute to be fired.
It's on the application form, I think, yeah.
I've never seen not a cute fire person. Women and men, they're both quite attractive. So they could make me pancakes anytime, and I'll bring them a toy. We'll be back with more fun and scintillating ideas after the commercials.
Right, yes, and we'll help you out as well. See you in a minute.
Okay.
A lot of stuff.
I know. Super fun people
Yeah.
on the station with us. I'm like, oh, those are some, because I've listened to a number of the shows, but there's a couple I'm like, oh, I'm going to need to watch for them. Because I'm sure they're just as fun as us.
Well, I don't know.
So today we're talking about activities to do over the holidays where you have the potential to meet new people, new friends, new potential people to date, new potential significant others. I think we need to say it again. Don't go with any other expectation except to have a good time.
Yes.
Because that is totally in your control. Whether you're going to meet the love of your life is not in your control at all. What's in your control is to keep putting yourself out there and coming with a festive, open-hearted, I'm interested to meet these people and talk to them and learn about them attitude.
Right.
Period.
That's the law.
That's how we set ourselves up. And then we're like, well, it wasn't very fun. Really? How many people were there? And who did you talk to? And what kind of professions do they have or interests? Well, if you don't find that out, it could be super boring.
Yeah. So, and all things we talked about so far have really been about just getting out of your comfort zone for some people. And just being able to play and enjoy. Because the thing about Christmas time for most of us is when we were kids, it was all about the excitement and the joy. Yes, the presents, but it was the feeling we got from the presents and what we did with that.
Yeah.
As adults, a lot of people, I think, seem to have forgotten that, especially, again, if they've gone through a breakup or something where they're not feeling loved or feeling in a relationship, they're not feeling so joyful. Well, the thing is, as a kid, maybe you went out to get the presents, but the truth is you came with the excitement and the expectation and the merriment. So as adults, why not do the same thing? Why not think about things you could do over the holidays and then everything you go to, whatever it is, where it's, say, feeding the homeless or doing cookie parties or going ice skating or going to watch the lights, bring the same childlike expectation of merriment and joy and playfulness and expectation of what's possible, because you never know who you might meet. And if you don't meet anybody, at least you'll have a good time being merry and happy and festive. Because the thing is, it's not to anybody else to make you happy anyway. That's a teaching, by the way, from a whole other point. It's up to you to make you happy. So choose it. Have fun with it.
Choosing is so important. And I think people forget we always have a choice. And we can choose to be all glum and unhappy. And we might think we have really good reason. Right. You still are making a choice. You really are making a choice. So if you're going to suit up and put on your red and go out and be with people, make a conscious decision for that period of time to be in the best mood, the most open listening that you can be. Christmas was not very long after my husband died suddenly, and it was a choice to go, am I going to be all mopey every minute? No, I'm going to be mopey a lot, and everybody will understand. But I didn't want to be around me mopey all the time. So I really would put myself in a place where I would get some revving up. Right. I get a little distraction from my grief. And I'll tell you, I'm one of those weird people. I will go, we have some really cool malls around here. I mean, people bus into South Coast Plaza. It's wild. It's a tourist destination.
Right.
It's for all the shopping and the high-end stores and stuff, but it's beautifully decorated at Christmas. And more than once, I've driven there, but I don't get upset about the parking because I don't have a deadline, because all I'm going to do is walk around and look at the pretty stores. That's all. I don't even need to shop. I'd probably have my shopping done, but I want to look at the decorations and I want to look how cute the people are dressed. And there's often carolers and just it's festive. It's festive if you go with that attitude where, oh my God, I have to find the best present, or gosh, look how long these. I didn't care about the lines because I wasn't standing in any of them. One day I was walking around eating popcorn and drinking a lemonade or something, and this guy looked. You probably have this happen. People just talk to me. He goes, he was running outside the store. It was his store, and he goes, I don't know what you're doing, but I want your life. You look so happy. I really am. Thanks. Nice. I had nothing what else to do but eat popcorn and drink this lemonade because I was just looking at I mean, it's so harried for store people. So I understand that. But so I said, thanks. That's really sweet. I really do feel that way. It was nice to get recognized for that because I didn't look like a lot of the other people at the mall.
Yeah.
So even if you don't want to talk to anybody or interact with anybody, but you're not allergic to crowds, because that would be a problem.
That's the key. Yeah.
Cruise around the mall. It's a pretty fun place at Christmas time if you're not part of the fray.
Well, that's the thing is if you, I think it's beautifully said, because if you've done all your shopping beforehand, or you don't have to do any shopping, whichever way it is, when you go to the mall without having to do anything when you're at the mall,
yeah,
it's a whole different mindset. You know, I mean, when I go to the mall, it's always like I've got to go to this one store, these two stores, in and out, and so I'm looking at the parking spot closest, get in, done, out.
Yeah.
But the idea of going to the mall and not being stressed because I don't care about the parking, being close to the doors, and not stressed because the stores are packed out because I'm not going in that store anyway. It's just, there's such a relief that way. So when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a concept. Just have a chance to go enjoy the environment without worrying about what else is going on. And yes, you do have to put up with the crowds because that's going to be there anyway. But same as if you go, like, you know, around here, there's some really cool streets you go on, which are all the mom and pop shops, the vendors are there. And they have these things all through the year. We get to just check out these different experiences and just the chance to walk around and admire what people have done. And yeah, you might buy something off chance, but you won't be looking for something to buy. And so the idea of going out to fun streets where they have, like, you know, like a high street or a fashion street, whatever those things are where you live, can be great fun on the holidays too, because those are all decorated the same way. And like in Santa Monica, we have the promenade area, and every year the lights up there are fantastic. And it's not necessarily like fancy statue stuff, but just the lights above all swung between all the different stores. It's just magical up there. So definitely there's so much to go see and explore outside the house, which don't require going in anywhere. Just wrap up nice and warm if it's cold weather. You know, if it rains, have an umbrella, of course. But just to go out and give weather forecast now. But just to get out of the house and change your state by doing something like this can be so much fun, and can change your energy and your vibration and your mood. You know, one reason I think about feeding the homeless, sorry, finish one thing, or if you're going to help with the animals, is you start to recognize that, one, you have more than you thought you did. And two, you have the ability to give caring and love to somebody else or something else that changes how you feel and changes what you're thinking about. So such a good thing to get out and do something. You were going to say.
Well, that same along that line, what I found was when I was at the mall for no other reason than to just wander around, I noticed the joyful kids. I noticed the people that were having a good time. Because if you're just focused on, look at all those people ahead, how do I wind through them? I need to get in that door. And how long's that? Maybe I should try that store, which is certainly part of the hurry-burry of Christmas. But if you're not in that mindset and you're in the, I'm just here wandering, because it's not so cold if you're wandering around inside of a mall.
Right.
Because what I laughed about was all my friends that live back east who think it is so not cold. But it is for Southern California people. I'm open about what a wuss I am, that I think it's cold below 70. And it's getting 40s now here. But when you're just with this relaxed place, it's amazing what else you'll see around you when you're not that focused, harried, frazzled person that can happen at Christmas time.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons I went too, because when you talked about the joyfulness of kids, it just bursts out of their pores. They're so excited. And sometimes I'll stand off to the side for that gargantuan line of kids going and sitting on Santa's lap. They're having the best time. And then the kids that cry because it's their first time, and watching the little elves and Santa deal with it, because I did that for such a long time. I arranged Santas too with my business. It's just such a crack up because I'm not involved. I don't have to do anything with these kids that are pooing and peeing all over the place and crying and snotting. And I just find the whole thing amusing. It's like a free entertainment. I don't even have to buy a ticket.
Absolutely.
So if you can get yourself, out of your own way, almost anywhere you go throughout the holidays, there's some really amusing things to watch.
Absolutely. But also the other part, you mentioned carols too. There's music everywhere too around the holidays. There's always something to go watch, whether it's at a coffee shop, or it's at a wine bar, or even just a simple. Some restaurants have like bar sitting. We go hang out and watch the music there. There's lots of things you can do socially any time of the year, but at the holidays especially, there's something more festive and something more intimate about those experiences. So to get to go out to places and do things that are more, again, uplifting, that are more fun to explore and just participate, to watch and be there for, can be great fun. The thing about the holidays, and that's why I want to make this point, is the holidays can be for some people an extremely challenging time of year. Whether maybe they've lost somebody, or they're finding themselves alone, or even if they're in a relationship, and maybe it's just challenging time to take care of things at the end of the year. Maybe because you couldn't fly back to see family, or something that's going on. But it doesn't have to be that way. The thing is that when it gets to be this time of year, some people want to get through Christmas and get over with it. They don't want to deal with anything because it reminds them of something else. It's like, why not write a new story? What if you could take the time over the holidays to do activities and things that are intentionally uplifting for yourself? They're intentionally self-centric, but also something that can really be joyful for yourself, because it's nothing wrong with giving yourself the gift at Christmas of merriment, of joy, of happiness. So all the things we're talking about, and there's so many more we don't even get to during our conversation, about things you can find that you can do that are social, that are interactive, that may be at low cost, that can be done daytime or evening, depending on your preference, that will give you that feeling, that sense of fulfillment, that sense of holiday spirit, a sense of joy, because you deserve the time. If you're feeling depressed and worn out, you can change that. You don't have to stay home. You can go out and play. And all stuff we're talking about are simple ways to go out and play and have fun. So again, I'm going to keep pushing this point. Go out and be social, have fun, play, and enjoy yourself.
And one of the other suggestions I have is, whether or not you're religious, whether or not you have a church, you'd be hard to find some sort of a religious house that doesn't do something for Christmas.
Right.
Really, if they're Christian based, because the Jewish people don't believe in Jesus Christ, so you wouldn't be going there. And any church that's Christian based, they're going to have choral groups singing. They're going to have beautiful decorations. We had a place here, the Crystal Cathedral, where they would have this glory of Christmas with real camels and sheep. And I mean, oh my gosh, how could you not be in the Christmas spirit with this pageantry going on around you?
Yeah.
So even if you're not religious, even if you don't have a church, look around and see if there's someplace that's doing some special programs that would feel community to you, and take a friend if you don't want to go by yourself. But most religious houses have greeters, have people that are there at the door. If it's your first time, they'll introduce you to somebody. You'll make a fast friend, and you won't feel like you're sitting alone if you don't want to. I find that's a very solid place to go. They have people that watch you coming and going from the parking lot so that you feel safe. Most of them are very well organized, very caring, and super festive. So you could find one of those or a couple of those in your neighborhood, wherever you live, I think.
Absolutely. And admittedly, the Crystal Cathedral is one of those unique places, to say the least, because it's extreme. Yeah. But it's true that almost any church or Catholic gathering space around this time of year is going to be definitely turning up the juice, so to speak, because they're celebrating the birth of their savior. I mean, I come from a Jewish background, so it wasn't my thing either growing up.
Yeah.
But that definite experience of celebratory energy. And yes, it can be a bit holy versus religious, which is cool. But why not? And it is true. I mean, definitely pretty much every church has some sort of manger scene outside the front of their church. Usually, it's kind of a generic requirement now for churches. So you go check out different churches and drive by and like, oh, that's a nice one. Well, this one's better than that one is, and you can you have your own top 10.
And Christmas carols are beautiful. When you get a choral group, my conductor friend's doing one this weekend. I'm taking friends, and there'll be lots of music, instrumental, but they'll be singing too. And I get goosebumps all the time with Christmas carols. I mean, I play them around my house, and I have my favorites, and play it in your car, play it in your house. Maybe that'll help you get a little bit more in the mood, a little bit more feeling in the holiday spirit, you know, a little bit less bah humbug if you've had kind of a hard year. And I love that you say, in case you broke up with somebody, because it's a terrible time of year to lose somebody. It really is. I just think it adds, we'll say it out loud, it adds an extra hardness to it. It just does. So, okay, we're all admitting it. And now you have a choice again. It's your choice. You know, are you going to sit around and mope, or are you going to find some occasions to go to? That's the thing.
Yeah, like I've been going to the spiritual center I go to, which I'm going to for a couple of decades now. Always does Christmas Eve service, and it is like at least half its music, and the choir sings, and the instrumentalists play, and the soloists sing, and it's always so heart opening and uplifting. And I love going. I mean, I go to this my spiritual center. I go all the time to volunteer anyway and help out. But Christmas Eve is one of those special times where it's such a joyful experience. And so for me, that's one of those things. So echoing what you're saying about going to see choral places or going to see music singing, there are places you can go, and most places you don't need to become a member or some sort of devotee. Just go and show up. Sit in the back if you want, but just go out and enjoy music, because it is somewhat, I might say international, but it transcends those particular locations. And yes, Christmas music. I've sung along many times, and it's got, it's just about Christ the Lord. And I'm like, yeah, all right.
I know my Jewish friends come with me, and I go with, we do their stuff, but they don't, and it's not like lightning's going to strike you. I mean, that seems like such a terrible thing to say, but I think some people worry. I go, my Jewish friends are like, I like Christmas music. I think it's really pretty.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing bad about it. And we're not saying you have to believe anything you don't believe in order to sing the songs or enjoy them. Right. They're beautiful songs. And because the majority, certainly in the United States, people do believe in Christ, there's lots to pick from. Go pick the ones that suit you. And if there's some that's too rigid, then don't go there. Go to the place that's more about hallelujah a bunch all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Like Baptists. Oh my God, Baptists are the most singers. Geez, they jump around. I've loved going. I'm like, this is really fun.
I love that. So one other thing, just for the Jews in the audience, because something I'm a spiritual based person, even though I grew up Jewish, but I got connected with some friends who are also Jewish and made new friends because of that. Where we were on Christmas Day, our tradition on Christmas Day was to do what we call the Jubies, which basically was we go see the movies. So because we didn't go to church on Christmas morning and have things to go to, we're all orphans basically away from families. It'd be like probably 8 or 9 of us get together. And again, most people I didn't know when we first met. We became friends every year. We do this, and we go catch a movie. Sometimes we go see back-to-back movies. Then we go have dinner somewhere.
And don't you have Chinese food? Because that's usually the restaurants that are open.
Usually for us, though, what we usually do is there's a burger joint. We actually go to Hollywood. Now we can't do it because the place is closed now. But there was a burger joint we would go to every time because we used to go to the ArcLight, which is now closed in Hollywood. We do 2 movies at the ArcLight if we're really feeling gung-ho. Then go for dinner at the place called 22 degrees, 23 degrees, 25 degrees. I forget. It's the difference between medium rare and rare. It's a burger joint. So they named the degrees. But we go there for burgers, and they had a spectrum of cheeses, burgers, breads, everything. So you could build your own. The best thing they had was called Guinness shakes. We learned how to get the recipe for that. That was pretty amazing. Yeah. Anyway, so and then we go back and see another movie. So we do like 3 movies and dinner. I mean, the only thing was, when we used to go and see this, it was about maybe $50 a head, but it got to be $120, $130 by the time. But in the last couple of years, we said, okay, let's change that. And since now the thing is because again, opportunities. Because at least 3 of the group we were gathering with are part of members of the guild, Directors Guild or Actors Guild, whatever it is. We get screeners.
Yeah.
So we would basically then bring our own burgers. We make stuff there, and we'd have somebody would host it at the house, and we'd have a gathering. We basically and we come in casual clothes, bring up PJs and slippers. We want to get really casual, and we'd have burgers all the time, and we found the recipe of Guinness shakes. or we'd have just beer, whatever, and then watch movies. And we just casually hang out and watch movies. So we keep the tradition going, even though we don't go to the movie theaters.
I've had a couple of friends that were part of the guild, and it is really fun because you get all the Academy nominees.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I'm going to need to find another person because I haven't had somebody for a little while. Thank you for reminding me about that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, because my Jewish friends all explained to me that's what they do, that they would go to the movies and have Chinese food because there were so few other options for food available. But
Chinese food was good, but it's also got crowded some places because all the Jews were coming in the same place.
I think we're going to all be on the hunt for a guild person. That's what we're going to need this year. We're ready for that. Okay. I'm on it.
Okay.
And we'll make cookies while we're doing it because then we'll have all the dessert we want to go with our burgers, right?
That's planning. I like that.
Or maybe the day before you do cookies, and then the day, so Christmas Eve you make cookies, and Christmas Day you do the movies and burgers and cookies.
Okay.
I've got it all. The event planner in me just kicks right in.
I'm glad we got the plans. Okay, hopefully people watching this have got some plans as well now.
Hopefully our suggestions have been helpful. Let us know if you try any of them, if you hated all of them. We could hear that too. Probably not, but
right. And if you found something we didn't talk about and decided you had that we didn't have, please let us know.
We love suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to talk to us directly about your plans or lack of plans for Christmas or the holidays, because we do have Hanukkah still here, the way to get hold of me is through my website, which is www.theperfectcatch.com. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can also schedule a complimentary conversation with me by clicking on what's holding you back from love. You can send me a personal email to Christine@theperfectcatch. You can also reach me through all my social media platforms and see my videos with Barry and some on my own at Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest and Instagram and YouTube. And I forgot.
Twitter.
Thank you, Barry. And please tell people how they would reach you directly.
Certainly. So same as Christine, you can reach out to me if you want some help and navigation through this whole question about this time of festivities or even relationships in general. My website's my name, which is easy-to-find, same as all my social media, except for one, which we'll get to. My website is barryselby.com, and on there, on the front page, there's a link at the bottom to join my email list. Or at the top, if you want to just simply take a next step and actually go for a deep dive conversation with me and really get your bearings on where you are and where you want to go. Also, my website is my book and online courses and other things as well. And definitely on my social media, I do have a fairly prolific video collection on my YouTube channel, which is where these talks as well as all my own talks go. And there's probably 1,500 up there now. So all my social media platforms, except for Instagram, are Barry Selby. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Clubhouse. And then there's one more that I didn't get to, which I'll come back to. And then Instagram is the real Barry Selby. And it's funny, I just got the notification on my anniversary because I posted a picture when I first got banned off of Instagram with my account, Barry Selby. When I lost the account, that was exactly 4 years ago. So now it's the real Barry Selby. Had to reinvent myself on Instagram. But everywhere else, Barry Selby works on all my social media platforms. Just on Instagram, it got changed to the real Barry Selby. So reach out, get support from either one of us. We're here to help you.
We can help you. And we're here every week on Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific and 4 o'clock Eastern and all the times in between.
Yes, indeed.
For your viewing and listening pleasure. So please tell your friends and be sure to subscribe so that you'll get notified every week. And we will look forward to seeing you next week with another scintillating subject.
Indeed, we will. And enjoy your holidays, whatever you do with them.